What's going on, guys? JoJo allegedly here. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Now, everybody already knows that Tay Roc clearly recycled for Danny Myers with rounds that he wrote for Rio on the World Sport Battlegrounds, which of course is a virtual battle league. Now, here's the thing. In this video, I'm going to describe why Tay Roc recycling for Danny Myers actually helps the URL in the long run and hurts the battlers taking money out of their pockets. Now, if you're living under a rock, no pun intended, and you haven't heard the recycling, I'm going to play that clip right now, which was originally posted by DNA's Tooth, so shout out to him. All right, so check this out.
Turn you to a pack. You are about to become the best strain.
Turn you to a pack. You about to become the best strain.
I'm smoking on a dead man, like Method Man, Red Man.
Smoking on a dead man like Ivory and Red Man.
Lead blame. You gonna need an X-ray, head scan.
You gonna need an X-ray, a head scan.
Brace for your neck, shit bag, and bedpan.
Brace for your neck, shit bag, and a bedpan.
I'm right-handed. I shoot it to the tech jam.
Right-handed to the tech jam, but it's ugly. It looked like I drew it with my left hand.
But it's ugly. It looked like I drew it with my left hand.
Now, as you could see in that footage, clear recycling from Tay Roc. The verbiage was changed pretty much in no way at all. The rounds were exactly the same. So almost all of Tay Roc's third round was recycled. Now check this out. Here's why it actually helps the URL and hurts other battlers. Because the narrative that I'm seeing being painted, at least by the fans, is that they don't really give a shit. They're defending Tay Roc. Some of the media members are calling Tay Roc out on this. Some of them are not. But most of the fans are actually defending Tay Roc. And that's fucked up. That's extremely fucked up. Because the URL has done such a good job at brainwashing the fan base that they're on their way to becoming a monopoly. Yes, of course, they're the biggest league by now, by far. They do have some competition in RBE, a very small amount of competition, I would say, in King of the Dot, who's kind of, faded away into the abyss of no one giving a fuck about. But this helps URL because as the narrative furthers that URL is the only league that counts and the majority of the fans don't give a fuck that Tay Roc already spit these same exact rounds for a completely different man on a completely different league that were not crafted for Danny Myers, as the majority of the fans think that that doesn't matter, what's happening is now the fans aren't going to tune into those leagues. The fans are slowly going to start losing their interest in those smaller leagues, even when there's bigger names on them, because you're telling us that they don't count. So when you finally convince us that they don't count, they don't matter, what's going to happen is these smaller leagues are not going to be able to make enough money off of these bigger names to give younger guys looks, to give these bigger names a couple of racks on occasion when, a guy needs help with his rent. Or because I've heard stories where some of the battlers were actually hit up a smaller league and be like, yo, you got anything for me, bro? I need a couple racks. I got Christmas coming up. I got to buy stuff for my kids. I need to pay my car note, need to pay my rent, all that. So what's happening is you're going to be losing all of these opportunities. These up-and-comers are not going to be able to get looks on smaller leagues, and the URL actually gets battlers from these smaller leagues. So if these smaller leagues are no longer able to put on events and put money in battlers' pockets on the come-up, then we all lose. We all lose. So what ends up happening is the URL could just use their feeder league, these little feeder leagues that they actually fund and support, to grow their own talent so it looks like there's smaller leagues out there, but there's really not. We're coming to a point where there's going to be no small independent leagues, and that's extremely dangerous because what happens is you need competition to grow, because if the fans have no other options, it doesn't pressure the major leaders in the game to do better, to do anything different. They could do whatever the fuck they want, and we just have to deal with it. And it's getting closer and closer to that. No matter what the URL does, for the most part, nobody gives a fuck about. We have to support it because they're the biggest league. So we have no choice, and this is getting furthered and furthered. So with Tay Roc recycling and the fans actually defending him, it actually helps the URL. Now the URL isn't going to have much competition, so they don't have anybody to negotiate with, to negotiate against. Whatever they say goes. The battlers got to accept it. You can't say that RBE is going to give you 10 Gs because now there is no RBE. Nobody gives a fuck about RBE. Nobody gives a fuck about Gates of the Garden. Nobody gives a fuck about all these smaller leagues, so there's nobody giving offers that the URL has to then match or compete against or even beat. Whatever they say goes, and that's the danger of a monopoly. So when fans get brainwashed to the point that we don't give a fuck about Tay Roc recycling anymore, That's a major problem. That is a major problem. Now let's talk about this actual battle, because there's also the narrative being painted that Tay Roc did extremely well, that this was a classic, that what a back and forth battle. No, Tay Roc died. Bro, Tay Roc died. Like, what are we doing? Especially when you factor in that he recycled almost his entire third round. Tay Roc clearly died, bro. Like, if you can go by the crowd reaction, which I would say probably Danny Myers did get a little bit gassed, if you will, but he kind of earned that gas because he opened up his first round with 3 fire rebuttals. That Nunu Nails teeth rebuttal, that was crazy. That's what got the crowd on his side. So you could say, look at everybody behind Danny reacting. Okay, but when Danny opened up his first round with that rebuttal, the entire room was reacting. He got everybody on his side. If you actually watch Sue Surf next to Tay Roc, Surf was reacting to more of Danny's bars. He was doing like the stink face when Roc was rapping, like, yeah. But when Danny was rapping, Surf was like open mouth smiling and nodding, like clapping on his own leg and shit. Like, Surf was loving that shit. He can't deny it. But now they're trying to push this narrative that Tay Roc somehow won the battle 2-1, or at least that it was a classic battle. No, Tay Roc did pretty good. He did pretty good. But Danny Myers was on 10, bro. Like, he was on 100, like, for real. Danny Myers was next level in this battle. So Tay Roc coming in at like 85% of his best performance isn't even close enough. Isn't even close at all to match what Danny Myers brought to the table. So I don't understand how, as fans, we're so brainwashed to think that the URL, first of all, is the only league that counts. Second of all, whatever the URL and their media members who aren't actually URL media members, but they kind of just do whatever the URL wants. We're so influenced by them that it seems as though this battle was closer than it was. Bro, they didn't even put up a poll, and they knew what they were doing. Tay Roc is a URL baby. So the fact that Caffeine didn't put up a poll after this battle, and this was the only battle that didn't have a poll put up on the screen afterwards, that tells you something. Tay Roc died. They knew that he died, but they didn't want to let the fans think that he died. So now the narrative is being pushed that it was a close classic battle. Bro, even some of Danny Myers' slept on bars were better than Tay Roc's biggest reaction bars. For example, I wrote down a bar that Danny Myers finished his first round with that got no reaction at all. The fans were just tired of reacting to every bar from Danny Myers. But this bar was pretty crazy. He said some shit. He went over to Surf and he was saying some shit like, how that sound, Wave? I bet this 32 hurts. Like, that's crazy. But nobody reacted to that shit. And I know you guys probably caught it. It's not some fucking in-depth, crazy bar. However, that was probably like one of his least reacted to worst bars of the first round, and that was still fire. That was still, Danny Myers was on a different level. Every single round he opened up with crazy rebuttals. Tay Roc didn't rebuttal shit. Tay Roc basically never rebuttals shit. We know what we're getting from Tay Roc, and we got it. It just wasn't enough. It clearly wasn't enough. Let's stop pushing this narrative. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Was this a 2-1 Danny Myers? Was this a 3-0 Danny Myers? Or was this a 2-1 Tay Roc? I can't hear no 3-0 Tay Roc. If you're going to say 3-0 Tay Roc, please just don't even comment. It's not even worth it because that didn't happen. That didn't happen. But you guys let me know what you think about this, man, because I'm really interested to hear your opinion. As you can see, this is a new channel. I did previously have a battle rap channel, MMA and battle rap, but I switched that over to completely MMA because let's keep it real, that community is offering more opportunity to grow and all that. But I miss talking about battle rap, so I started this new channel, and I'm definitely going to be talking about it much more. So if you appreciate this type of content, do me a quick favor, click the like button, help keep this channel in the algorithm. Subscribe if you're new here. I'm going to be doing some giveaways coming up here soon, some CBD giveaways, all types of fun stuff, Amazon gift card giveaways. So I'd appreciate you guys if you subscribe. All right, guys, we'll talk soon. Peace.